Alright, running very late, so walking fast, talking fast. Sorry. Alright, Professor Anton. Oh, gee. Well, Pyro too. So later in the day, I'll try to get a response off to Pyro's video. Anyway, but Professor Anton again with this religion crap. So he's accusing me once again of being religious, highly religious, the ultimate religious, mega religious. Why? Because basically I apply logic to the question of value, and that's why. In his opinion, value is not something we apply our intelligence to, such questions. We just do whatever the DNA says. We ask the DNA, plainly. You just ask the DNA, what do I feel like doing? And you do it. Or if it's a tradition, and everybody likes it. So if we had a popular tradition of, killing the weakest of our children before their 10th birthday, that would be the ugliest one. Yeah, we killed the ugliest kid. No, it's a tradition. Got to keep doing that. Yeah, because the DNA says so. It's the tradition of the organism. We're birds, so if we were a different animal that has a different routine, just keep doing it. Just keep being the animal. And so, if that's being rational, then I'm religious. Okay, if the only two choices are that kind of rationality and being called a religious nutter, I'm a religious nutter. Look, so the dogma, I guess I'll go through that first. So look, the obvious thing you do when you confront a religion is you say, look, this is where you have made a fatal error. You say, you cannot possibly, you have no evidence of this God, and a 2,000-year-old book is inherently unreliable. People can't tell a story right that's 15 minutes old. I mean, if I have a news story and it's 15 minutes old, people are already going to get it wrong when they attempt to recite it. They're already going to screw up the facts and the figures. So we know the Bible was written by men, not a God, because it's crazily imperfect. And no doubt it hasn't been edited by a perfect editor. There's just no way. It's just a fable. A silly, stupid, crazy fable. And then, so first you go against the origins of the story. You attack its credibility from its origins. And then you can attack its credibility from its end product, which is the 10 Commandments, which are utter bullshit, because the Golden Rule covers them all. If you just obey the Golden Rule, you will have satisfied all the meaningful commandments. Yes, the Golden Rule won't make you kiss God's feet, but everything else you'll pretty much do. That's in the 10 Commandments. So why would you bother with the 10 Commandments? They're now null and void because you found a really quick, straight line to the goal. And so then you can almost argue that if the wacky religion just was about the Golden Rule, who would care and say, yeah, it's a brilliant philosophy. It's not a religion, it's a philosophy. Yes, it sucks to create more harm in the world than good. And that's what the Golden Rule basically adds up to. If you obey it, you will end up doing more good in the world than harm, i.e., it's a value judgment. You'll be a good human being, a worthwhile human being, and we will be able to write on your tombstone, this guy left the place cleaner than when he got it. Yay for him. But you could convert religions into any time. So now that we all know what timeshares are and condominiums and all that stuff, you could basically argue that the new religion is, you take care of your part of the timeshare, and if everybody else takes care of their part of the timeshare, you all win because your timeshare increases in value. Not that hard to figure out. I mean, really, if you all do a little fixing up, you'll all make money. Multiple monies, so to speak, quote unquote. You'll multiply the investment of good that you put in. Yeah, something like that. But anyway, I took notes, but I don't know if it's even necessary. Anyway, he did say, here's a quote, ultimate whole and horizon of the absolute. So he has a problem with us looking at actions of the human animal and putting them in the entire context. So it's not about how you affect the world. It's not about how you affect the future. It's just about what your sister thinks you've done, or what your dog thinks of you. If you can satisfy them, you can kill all the people you want. Yeah, I don't think so. Come on. No, the end game is the game. There's nothing else for a human organism but to compile more merits, merits than demerits. Okay, the point is to go through your life and do good and get merits, and to avoid doing bad and getting demerits. I mean, really. Oh, so that's a religion now. Because, yeah, it's a simple description of value. Oh my God, can't have that. So yeah, the contrary here, I said it before, but this is just a tactic of insult. So if Professor Anton wants to just exchange insults, I will call him a hedonist. A debaucherous, selfish, mofo hedonist. Okay, nihilistic hedonist. Alright, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody but himself. Okay, and he is a deplorable, ignorant piece of shit. There, fine. Now we've exchanged the insults. I mean, alright, so anyway, he calls abiogenesis dogma. So, apparently, my theory that we evolved from chemical interaction only, that chemistry was reacting in the seas of a young Earth, and that chemistry, through bizarre circumstance, perfect stormed, if you understand what that word means, Professor, perfect storm, like the conditions were just right, and a megastorm was created, so to speak, a rare event. Well, a rare event in complexity took place, and a reproducing cell was created. And then we are now the 9 trillionth regeneration of that cell. Through 4 billion years of quite, I will dogmatically state as a factual evolution. Now, you have an alternative theory, I would be glad to hear it. If you're going to claim that theory of abiogenesis is no more valid than Dianetics, and Scientology's theory that aliens stuck their penis in a volcano and mankind popped out. Well, you can go with that, but I don't think you're going anywhere but to the crazy house. So put up or shut up is all I have to say to that. Explain your alternative theory. Have the balls, pull them out from where they're hiding behind your pancreas. Pull out your balls and give me one of your theories, your alternative theories of our generation. I'd love to hear it. Unicorn fart, Dr. Alien Mangala, what exactly is your theory, fuckwit? I mean, really, disgusting. You're gonna call somebody religious and that's the best you can do as an alternative explanation? Oh, pretty foul. Alright, now the imposition thing is the big one for him. Go watch the end of the video where Gary says he's going to impose. Yeah, he's going to impose on the imposers. He's going to stop Dr. Frankenstein if he can. That's right. He'll grab his pitchfork and head for the castle and tell the fucking arrogant playing God doctor that he can't keep playing God. That he's got to fill out an EPA environmental impact statement, that he's got to have a rational reason why he's fucking waking the dead. And if he can't provide it, yes, I'm going to run him through with my pitchfork. Alright? Because he's a fucking menace. And somehow I have to account for that in some other way, but saying it is perfectly legitimate to impose on imposers. And the first imposition, quite obviously, is creation. Creation is the first imposition. You can't go before then. Alright? So nobody can make the argument that they're going to stop my imposition because my imposition isn't the first imposition. Okay? So this isn't that hard to figure out. And you're claiming I'm religious because I'm stopping human beings who think they're qualified to create life, to take responsibility for its existence, to buy enough insurance to cover the liabilities. So, and I'm the religious nut, even though I'm the one against creation. I say there is no godly authority, either in man or in nature, to play with this fire unless you can demonstrate understanding of the fire. No one can do that because it can't be understood, because it's fucking stupid. It's so stupid, it can't even be heard as a rational sentence. There is nothing rational about it. It violates all rules of rationality. Existence for the sake of existence. Reproduction for the sake of reproduction. Yeah, those are going to fail the logical test. That fails the literacy test. It fails all tests. It can't be cognized as a rational deed. The sake of itself. That is bullshit. But of course, that's what you nihilistic, hedonistic, raping, pillaging, motherfucking sadistic, masochistic, crazy fucks want. All the serial killers want that. That's all you are. You're fucking egomaniacal, crazy fucks. And then you sit there and point to other people and say, oh, how dare you? How dare you define something as having value that isn't me, right? That's all you're saying. When I say the other things have a right you must respect, and the first right is the right of protest, the right to say, leave me the fuck alone. And you're disobeying that right. You're saying, fuck them, okay? Do what I want, because I'm Professor Anton. I mean, come on. Alright, so then he also used, again, he resorted to the argument from popularity, which we know doesn't mean anything. By that logic, you know, Ben Franklin would have been in the loony house. Galileo would have been in the loony bin. You could go right on down the list of all the greats of history who never would have uttered a word if that was if being unpopular was somehow verboten. So that's bullshit. And it's certainly bullshit to call them religious. You know, that's just laughably bullshit. You know, you're religious if you're against the popular, which are completely founded in religion. Every tradition is religious. The whole notions of how we look at life, how people are taught what it means to even be here. The word life itself has been colored in crayon, in glitter crayon, by religious fucktards. Okay, if it wasn't for the religious, maybe 1,000 years ago, we would have figured out that life is dumb as a stick. It's a stupid idea. You know, create need and then satisfy half of it. Yeah, that's pretty fucking dumb. I mean, really. So again, how can it possibly be described as religious when you're opposed to the very thing, okay, the very dominance of a culture? You can even see it in atheists. They can't even escape their religion. They can't even escape the Pollyanna pussy bullshit of the religion that raised them. The little hope and wishy. Oh, this hope and wish sounds an awful lot like a prayer. I think you've even used the word prayer, and yet you're pointing a finger. Hilarious. Yeah, selfish hedonist, DNA, I won't go into that. So again, value, in my opinion, is the only important logical discussion that needs to take place. Understanding value is the big one. We attempt to understand all the other crap to understand how it affects value. It really is that simple. And to serve the value needs of the human society. I'm sure you're politically against a lot of procedures, you know, genetic irradiation of seed corn or some other kind of thing, and you're probably against it. So what, I call that a religion now? I'll just discount any real concern or worry you have. I'll just minimize it by calling it a cult. You know, the cult of nonconformity, the cult of anti-technology, the cult of unscientism. Yeah, so now I've reduced you to a 2,000-year-old babbling old fucktard talking about your damnation. Yeah, and that's all you're doing. You're just taking preposterously cheap shots, which just demonstrates gigantic and huge intellectual dishonesty. And then you'll complain because somebody else argues aggressively or angrily. Yeah, well, I've said it before, Professor, your tactic is overtly and plainly offensive, and you should be called out on it, because it is absolute bullshit. You're a name-calling, motherfucking, selfish, greedy, hedonistic menace to civilization. There. Alright? More importantly, on a personal, animalistic level that you seem to appreciate, I think you fucking suck. Okay? So fuck you. Eat some poison berries and choke on them, motherfucker. Play fair. I don't play at all, weasel. Dickless weasel.